didn't see you there. I was just pondering vocal pedagogical theories. Want to join? Come with me. No, really. Come on. Let me begin with this point. Despite continued developments in a variety of vocal music throughout music history, the human vocal cords structurally have stayed the same. Correct? Correct. Vocal health and pedagogy is a constantly talked about and debated subject because of the stasis of our vocal cords. Some questions that arise are as follows. If the music changes and poses new difficulties on the voice, how should the singer overcome the new difficulties? Should music be written that pushes voices to the brink? Is it possible for the human voice to use the speaking voice throughout the entire vocal range? Are contemporary musicals putting unrealistic expectations on the singers? And who is truly qualified to answer all of these questions? To find the answers to these questions, I surveyed literature related to the National Association of Teachers of Singing because I wanted to determine the extent to which the sources address the inclusion of popular music pedagogy in order to determine the majority's opinion on the subject of contemporary vocal pedagogy and how it has come to be so controversial. First, I must begin by explaining what the National Association of Teachers of Singing, N.A.T.S, is. N.A.T.S is a professional organization for voice teachers. The group was founded in 1944. The organization's purpose is to encourage the highest standards of vocal art and to promote vocal education and research at all levels, both for the enrichment of the general public and for the professional advancement of the talented." End quote. To be a member of the association, you must be a well-informed and well-trained vocal instructor. The association has more than 6,500 members in the United States, Canada, and over 25 other countries. The organization also holds master classes, hosts an art song competition, and even has their own peer-edited journal called the Journal of Singing. This scholarly journal has been in existence since 1944, and the journal includes peer-reviewed articles about vocal health and pedagogy. In all honesty, the influence of this organization is what piqued my interest to focus specifically on their part in the vocal pedagogical practices of today. N.A.T.S has been in existence during many changes in America's musical landscape. Because of their long-standing presence, their journal is now a historical snapshot of vocal technique and pedagogy. Chia Hui Kwan wrote a dissertation specifically about, quote, "the changes in the teaching of singing and important findings from research on singing and their influence," end quote. One of the conclusions that she found was that, quote, "there has been a growing need and interest in providing training for non-classical singers," end quote, throughout the years of N.A.T.'s existence. Can you blame him? By the beard of Zeus, this tea is hot. However, some contemporaries feel that N.A.T. should only be advocating classical music. Robert Edwin is a part of N.A.T.S and has written a few strongly worded articles in the Journal of Singing about keeping the classical foundation intact even in our contemporary musical society. The first article of his that I found in my research is titled "The Bach to Rock Connection. Non-Classical Pedagogy? Yes. Non-classical student auditions? No." Despite this exclamatory title, his ideas are not as unreasonable as the title would initially suggest. Here are his two main points. As we can see, both of his main reasons are more about the reception of the music. However, Robert Edwin indulges us with a comment on the vocal pedagogy aspect of the situation, writing that, quote, musical theater performers need to know that singing classical music will better prepare them to compete successfully for roles in Showboat and Phantom, as well as provide a laryngeal and artistic counterbalance to the Broadway mix and pop belt styles. End quote. Edwin argues that N.A.T.S is against musical theater repertoire not solely based on vocal technique. A conclusion by Jeffrey Bell in his dissertation shows that 100 people that were a part of N.A.T.S had strong positive responses to musical theater repertoire in the classroom, and they made it clear that they wanted information on the application and analysis of musical theater literature compatible with the voice studio. It is obvious that there has been a need for the vocal pedagogy to move in parallel motion with the musical content through the decades. One particular pedagogue has helped the aforementioned motion. Richard Miller, pictured here, is an established pedagogue in contemporary vocal pedagogy. His warm-ups and techniques are used in practice rooms and music departments across the country. Most importantly, he is also a member of N.A.T.S. My research of N.A.T.S and vocal pedagogy would not have been complete without a look at his work and how his teachings influenced N.A.T.S. N.A.T.S contributors in the Journal of Singing explain that he was effective by virtue of his intellect, his passion, his teaching abilities, and most importantly, his ability and desire to be a student forever. End quote. Even Robert Edwin, the author of the article titled What Richard Miller Hath Wrought, fun fact, this article was published in the Journal of Singing issue that was dedicated to Richard Miller and his advancements in vocal health and pedagogy. Yikes. Quote, even though Richard, to this day, remains unconvinced that belting is a good vocal idea, he had the foresight in the 1980s as editor of the N.A.T.S Bulletin to see the need for a regular column that would address popular music pedagogy styles and technique. His willingness to venture into new and controversial territory has had a profound effect on N.A.T.S as well as on the greater voice teaching community. End quote. My research revealed to me that the majority of the members of N.A.T.S encourage the idea of broadening vocal pedagogy to contemporary music. Surprisingly, there are no arguments against the use of contemporary or musical theater repertoire on the basis that the music is unhealthy vocally. I was expecting the research to bring me to articles enforcing older vocal pedagogy philosophies. What I found instead was proof that the members of N.A.T.S want to seek more knowledge on how to healthily teach contemporary music. I was under the impression that N.A.T.'s long history was also paired with an unmoving vocal pedagogical philosophy. However, based on my research, I can now conclude that the members of N.A.T.S encourage its practice and placement in the repertoire. Its members, in fact, want new information to incorporate into their studios. The literature suggests that N.A.T.S has always strived to be on the forefront of vocal health and research. Nevertheless, they are still vocal advocates and encourage the vocal techniques to be healthful and sustain longevity in the voice. If I could broaden this subject's research, I would attempt to synthesize the opinions of a bigger part of the community of N.A.T.S. I would further my research by asking personal opinions of N.A.T.S members and reading pedagogical techniques behind the major minds of N.A.T.S, such as Richard Miller. If I were to further the research as a whole, I would try to find out why the vocal technique of belting is so controversial based on previously studied vocal health and technique. And, now I'm lost.
I'm ready. senses. Now that light bulb's gone off, and it's holding my winces. Now the light bulb's gone off. I've seen it in your eyes. I've seen you blankly stare, and I wanna show you how I love you, but there's nothing there.
I hate myself. Repertoire on the basis that the
Walking so fast.
then go this way.
It's hard to see behind me.
If I could
I think iMovie saves it to your computer or your documents.
The first article of that citation by Jeffrey Bell, Furzers? Good job, Krissa. Wow, I suck at writing. I feel like the Winnebago man right now. Okay. I hate saying the word repertoire. Chair. Yes! I think I'm done!